The Tennessee Valley's news talk leader, Nooga Radio, Digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio, Digital FM 95.3 HD4, 92.7 FM's news now.
Bradley County deputies arrested a 19 breaking into a car. Bradley County Sheriff's Office says they arrested Joe. Kept under $1,000 at the school board meeting. Superintendent Dr. Brian Johnson asked for $500,000 resource officers. TN Ready scores won't count due to the cyber attack. According to the Tennessean out of Nashville, the Tennessee General Assembly struck a deal Thursday that will ensure that this year's TN Ready test scores won't be held against students, teachers, and public school districts. On Tuesday, the state education department said that it was the victim of a cyber attack that left students unable to submit their TN Ready test answers. The Sean Hannity Show, weekdays 3 to 6. Russell Stroud, Nooga Radio News now.
Chattanooga Morning News with Russ and Val. Weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM.
Keon Rose, Nooga Radio News Talk 92.7 Sports Now. The Silverdale Lady Seahawks got the best of Chattanooga Christian 10-0 in a dominating performance. Silverdale junior pitcher Matty Tanker best performances of the year, in which he gave up just 1 hit and struck out 9 batters. Silverdale's 6 straight walks in the bottom of the 5th ended the game early in favor of Silverdale. For the Tennessee Vols, Philip Fulmer is in for the long haul. Fulmer has inked a 4-year deal with the University of Tennessee to be the director of athletics. The NFL has released its schedule for its 2018 season. The Tennessee Titans will begin their season in Miami September 9th against the Dolphins, and their following game, their home opener, is against the Houston Texans. The Atlanta Falcons appear in the season opener of the league Thursday night, September 6th in Philadelphia against the defending Eagles. Their home opener is September 16th against the Carolina Panthers. Keon Rose, Nooga Radio News Talk 92.7 Sports Now.
Chattanooga weather.
We spent lots of sunshine and beautiful weather out there through your afternoon. High settling into the upper 60s to near 70 tonight. Clear, chilly again, lows 40 to 43. More great looking weather Saturday. Lots of sun, high 71 to 73. Shower Sunday. Get ready for the 22nd Annual National Cornbread Festival, April 28th and 29th in South Pittsburgh, with headliners Exile and Doyle Lawson, 5 stages, crafts, lodge tours, and more. Visit nationalcornbread.com. And I'm SOAR Team 12's Chief Meteorologist, Time Report.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
Hey, we're back. You're listening to Cindy's Choice, and I have a great guest here with me today. But we were just about to talk about how awesome it is that my wonderful sponsor, Chicken Salad Chick, is actually at Erlanger Hospital, and I'm CEO of Children's Hospital at Erlanger with me. So we were just about to talk about our favorite flavors.
Well, I love the classic Carol. As the CEO of Children's Hospital, I spend a lot of time eating out, and the health benefits are awesome.
Yes. And that is the most popular recipe of the 12 recipe. The classic Carol is the most popular, and I love to brag on the fact that it is 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and 0 gluten. So all that is the basis of all the recipes. So it all is just a matter of what's added to it, but it is a wonderful, healthy source. I love that Chicken Salad Chick is at Erlanger. It just seems so appropriate to me, but there are 2 more. We just celebrated the 4th birthday at the downtown location. It was so wonderful. The founder herself was on my show last week, Stacy Brown. It was just wonderful hearing her story. And then there's the location over at Gun Barrel next to Target. So 3 locations, Chicken Salad Chick, more locations to come. Chicken Salad Chick, Chattanooga.com, Chicken Salad Chick, Chattanooga.com, or order online, order.chickensaladchick.com, order.chickensaladchick.com. Now, I want to jump in with John because there's just so much we can cover about the Children's Hospital at Erlanger. And I want to get to so many details, but first I want to talk about the incredible Believe Bash that I got to be a part of last weekend, Don. That is the event of the year. I mean, it was incredible.
We are so proud of the community support. We had 1,100 people come out in their black tie gala, and it's the second time we've done it. So it's our second annual event. It was down at Wilson Air Hangar. It was such a phenomenal success, and I think the highlight was having that cute little patient out there, Miss Cofield. She really did an amazing job.
Yes, it was wonderful. So well done. And again, it was so wonderful to see so many people show up and support such a wonderful cause, because Children's Hospital at Erlanger is the only children's hospital in the region. Is that correct?
We serve about a 50,000 square mile region. So we are located 2 hours from just about any other pediatric hospital system. So it's 2 hours to Nashville, 2 hours to Atlanta. So if kids need help anywhere in our region, that's why we're here.
It's incredible. But, we can talk about, hospitals and services offered and so forth like that. But I'm sure as a CEO of such a huge corporation, nonprofit, that you realize it really is the people that make up Erlanger. And I just want to give my personal testimony to that fact that I love Erlanger. And so many people have made just such great impressions with me. Jed Mescon, when I was just barely getting started, he didn't know who I was. Every time I ran into him, he was so eager to help and just made such a wonderful impression on me. Of course, I have a history. Of course, I had both my babies at Erlanger, and I actually worked at the cancer boutique there in the early 2000s. I was the general manager there. So I had a wonderful impression then. But Dr. Blaze has come on my show, Phil Smart on the board, Jack Studer. There's so many just wonderful people I've met them out in the public, and they're genuine, kind people that take the time to really focus on you and try to help you. And there's a culture there. There's a culture at Erlanger that I just really admire. And from all the things I've been hearing about you, Don, they know who to put at the top, because you attract people like yourself. And that's just a genuine perception of mine on Erlanger.
Kevin Spiegel came here almost 5 years ago now and really has turned Erlanger around and changed the culture. And we are a culture of service. I don't know, a lot of people probably don't know that last year Erlanger did $110 million worth of uncompensated care. So we are the hospital of last resort. We take everybody regardless of their ability to pay. And on the pediatric side, last year, 63% of the kids we took care of had Medicaid.
Wow, that's incredible. And I love, like I said, I love that Chicken Salad Chick is there, and I'm in the hospital a lot, and I go visit nurses' stations and so forth, and just meet more and more genuine, caring, loving people all the time.
What I'm most excited about right now is the support we're getting from the community to build this new children's hospital. We're in the middle of phase 1. We are about 60% complete of the building project, but this is just the beginning. We've got a phase 2 and a phase 3 out there. And what we're really trying to do is bring the facility up to match the level and quality of our physicians, because we've got some of the best nurses, some of the best doctors, some of the best providers, and they're working in a 45-year-old building. So we've got to fix that for them.
It's awesome. And it's awesome to see it come together. I'm so impressed. But again, I want to refer back to the people, because as you got scheduled on my show, and I have a marketing business, so I'm out at a lot of events. And as I would share with people that you were coming on, again, it was nothing but good words to say about you. But I ran into Zach Wamp last night at an event. I told him he's going to be coming on the show in the future. I told him you were coming on today. And he was just sure to tell me how impressed he was with your heart for children. And that really just gives a lot of reassurance out there to folks. That's who you want at the helm of a children's hospital. But where was he coming from with that? I wasn't in the conversation that you had with him.
Well, I think the short story is that in my career, I've been blessed to be able to work with lots of children and lots of parents. And I can tell you, it's so much easier to work with kids than adults. They're so much more fun. And, I've learned that the earlier you intervene on many pediatric issues, you can actually mitigate some of the long-term strategies. Yes. So for me, it's a culmination of my career, my education, and really just being a good dad.
Yes. There you go. That's awesome. Okay. So Don, tell me, what are the key when you're running a hospital? So obviously what Erlanger has really gotten down is access. So break that down for us. What are the strategies there in allowing people the easiest, quickest, best access to the facility?
So one of the best byproducts of this capital campaign we're running is that we've been able to attract over 34 new pediatric subspecialists. And our goal really is to create access. Access means two things. How quickly can you get in for an appointment? And then how far do you have to travel? So throughout this recruitment, people love working in new buildings. They like to be part of new building projects. We've really done a great job of recruiting some top-notch physicians and other providers. So what we're doing is we're setting up satellite locations out at our East campus, so Erlanger East. We've got a location down in Dalton. We've got a location in Cleveland. And what we're really doing is getting out in these markets and making it so the parents don't have to drive as far. That means the kids can stay in school longer.
Yes.
There's so many positive aspects. And just since April, the average appointment time back in April was it would take you 65 days on average to get into one of our specialists.
Wow.
We are down in the 22, 23 range. We can get people in for urgent appointments. And what I'm most proud of is some of our most tough subspecialties like neurology.
Mhm.
If you called and had a child that needed to get in, we're going to get you in within the next couple of days. If you go to any other marketplace, it's going to take you 120 days to get an appointment. So we've been blessed.
Wow.
This campaign has helped make that happen. And I'm so proud of our physicians and our administrators. They've really focused in on putting the patient first, putting the parent first, getting people scheduled as quickly as possible. And it's what our pediatricians ask for. We partner with our pediatricians to make sure that we're taking the best care of their patients.
And I always get so excited every time I have someone on from Erlanger and learn more and more about the fascinating things that happen there. And we're talking about access. And I want to encourage the public, when you have an opportunity to tour the facility. When I got to tour the kind of Control Central area, that's another thing that is part of this too, is I love the fact that the life force teleports, or whatever you would call them, are distributed all throughout the community.
That's really an amazing strategy. Rob Brooks, our chief operating officer, he used to be a flight nurse, and he understands the importance of time. Mm-hmm. So the strategy was to put these helicopters out in the community, so you don't have to fly all the way out to pick up an injured patient. You're already out there waiting. And I've heard amazing stories from people all over this region. I talked to a woman from Polk County who was in a bear attack many years ago, and she was telling me how great her son's doing now and how great she's doing. And it's just such a blessing for this entire region to have such a competent life force organization out there to be able to bring patients in as quickly as possible.
Wow. That's, and again, that's, I learned more. Lots of events, and Erlanger's really great. I mean, I've been to a lot of events where the CEO himself and some of the other C-level people are just inviting the public in to speak to them so they can hear firsthand and get a better understanding of all the things that Erlanger is working on to provide quicker access. And just the fact that it is the only children's hospital, I love that it's your attitude about collaboration. Is that a good way to put that?
You know, I think when we talk about taking care of children, and you're talking about 65% of the kids being on Medicaid, it's a big undertaking, and there's no way to do it alone. So what we do is we partner with every organization that has a common mission around taking care of kids, whether it's the Department of Education and Dr. Johnson, whether it's the Ronald McDonald House or the Austin Hatcher Foundation. We really try to partner with the United Way. Anybody that wants to partner with us to figure out a better way to take care of kids, we're up for it. And I think that's the important thing to keep in mind. Kids are sick, they're injured, they just want to get better. And we just want to help them get there as quickly as possible so we can get them back to the normal lives they deserve to live.
Yes. And a quick shout out to Ronald McDonald House. Chicken Salad Chick supports them. The radio station supports them. And I'm by the, they have that room on the third floor there at Erlanger. And a lot of times I'm by there stocking the fridge with Chicken Salad Chick to make sure those people that are tending to their not leaving the hospital for days because their child or relative is going through surgery or whatever it might be. I love supporting them as well. So an average of about 100, is this right? Tell me, 100 children a day through the ER?
So I have a great chief nursing officer, and every morning she texts me and tells me what's going on in the organization. And I can tell you that we average about 100 children a day through our emergency room. Flu season, it goes up a lot. I ran into one of our emergency room doctors last night, and I asked him how it was going. He said there's a lot of broken bones out there. He's got all these little kids who just learned how to ride their bikes going fast down these big mountains, and they're breaking their arms and they're getting beat up. But we're there to help. And I hope you never need to use the children's hospital. I hope your grandchildren never need to use the children's hospital. But these kids deserve the best facility and the best doctors and nurses. And that's why we're so passionate about partnering with the community to make sure that we make this capital campaign a success.
Yes. And then there's, so how many, just in a day, how many operating cases, the children are actually getting operated on?
Sure. So just to kind of go down our workflow, we see about 100 kids in the ER a day. Sometimes that goes up to 150, 180. Sometimes it's in the 80s. Sometimes it's a little smaller, but on average, it's about 100. Today, I know we're doing about 45 different surgeries. We've got 56 kids in our neonatal intensive care unit. So these are babies that literally could fit in the palm of your hand when they're born. They can be as young as 22, 23 weeks gestation, which when you think about that, they weigh a little bit more than the water glass you have there on the table. It's and many of these kids will grow up and do extremely well because we've got a great team of doctors, a great team of nurses, and really it takes everybody to take care of patients like that. It's child life therapists. It's all the things that make a children's hospital different from an adult facility. We've got many different size blood pressure cuffs, some of which are so small they could fit around your pinky because we've got to monitor the blood pressure on those little babies. And I think people really don't understand the difference of a children's hospital until you have to use it. And what I like to tell people is I really hope you never need it, but it's a really good thing that we have it here in our community.
It's a wonderful thing, and you just described exactly
why you've already lost the conversation.
Appreciate this platform.
You've already lost any discussion. Of course, slavery.
There, we're back. That's why I appreciate this platform, and we're in the process of moving ourselves. But I use my platform to help people because I get firsthand information and it frustrates me. I'm like, oh, everybody needs to know about this. And that is exactly how I use my platform and appreciate that very much here on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM. Our station's actually moving. We're moving to a really nice studio in the East Ridge area. And this has taken weeks of this is a difficult move. And not difficult, but you know what I'm saying? Everybody knows about moving. There's a lot to moving. Okay, but you're moving a hospital. You're building and moving a hospital. So I would love to know some of the challenges with pulling that off. It looks like we have a caller. Let's see who's calling in right here, Don.
Sure.
Hi there. This is the Cindy's Choice Show. You're live on the air.
Once again, Cindy, another good show. And Erlanger has the support of this radio station. About 5 years ago, my daughter's blood count was down to 5.1, and she was rushed to Children's Hospital. She was probably 12 years old at the time. And Children's Hospital literally saved her life by giving her 2 units of blood. So there's not enough good I can say about Children's Hospital. And like you said, you don't know unless this happens to your child. You really do not know. And then several days later, we found out what was wrong, and it was pretty devastating. But she's doing better now. She's doing much better. But yeah, this Nooga Radio has thrown its support behind Erlanger and the new Children's Hospital. So anything we can do for you guys, we're there for you. I think Cindy's representing that.
I cannot thank you enough, and that's the best part of my job is hearing these great stories about how our team comes together and they help little girls like your daughter. And I'm glad to hear she's doing well, and that's why we're here. We want to serve the entire community and help them in any way we possibly can.
I mean, you, the doctors and nurses. You guys are the heroes. I don't know that people understand that, but I'll give a quick story because I know you don't have a lot of time. But when there was this Ebola breakout, I think 30 nurses. This was in Florida, and I knew some of them agreed to volunteer to help these people, which means if they came in contact with them, they would die.
Right.
So I point to survivalists, and I'm pretty conservative, and I say, well, in an emergency, while you're going to be running to the hills to save your butt, these nurses are going to be running towards the crisis, saving people.
Their first responders.
These are the ones we need award shows for. Not actors, not actresses, but doctors, nurses, and guys like you that keep our children safe. So thank you once again, and you have our 100% support and backing.
I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, caller. Okay. Thanks for that incredible testimony. And that is true. That I was going to mention that is like when Dr. Blaze came on the show, they brought a testimony with them, and that is, and I'm sure you need that because, you know, my heart every time, like when you mention tiny little babies and my heart sinks every time I hear it. And you got to have those testimonies mixed into that, or you can't deal with that on a day-to-day basis.
What's really interesting, and what I've tried to preach throughout this campaign, is there's lots of reasons to help support a capital campaign for a children's hospital. the testimonies by far are the greatest, reason people want to support it, because they've had a personal experience. But a children's hospital is also a huge part of economic development for the entire city.
Yes.
When we're recruiting people to our town, they want to know where the kids are going to go to school, and they're going to want to know who's going to take care of them when they're not doing well. And I will tell you, the average age of a children's hospital in our country is about 4.5 to 5 years old. Our facility is 45 years old.
Wow.
So we owe it to our community to make this happen, and it's good for business. If you own a business out there, I'm sure you've recruited people. I'm sure they ask these questions. It's one of the big reasons why we're doing it. We're
talking about that on the second half of the show. It's what you become a part of. That's what a lot of this platform is used for, to help people understand. It's, if you look beyond and look at the bigger picture, it's really not about you. When you get involved in certain things and support, it really does make a huge difference
800-694-7394
for the community, which comes back and reflects on you. And I was starting to ask. We've got a couple more minutes left. I was talking about, like, oh my gosh, the kinds of challenges you're having with building a new hospital, and I'm excited because there's going to be hang gliders in the lobby.
There's a really neat story about that. As healthcare providers, of people who have these Life Force helicopters all over our region, we've got 6 helicopters now. We're really proud of our helicopters. So originally, we planned to have helicopters basically hanging from the ceiling. And then what we've been doing is working with a patient advisory council. So we've gotten patients, actual patients, their parents, and we ask them questions about what they want, what they need. And when we unveiled that we were going to have helicopters, one of the parents said, I came here on a helicopter one day. It was horrible. I never want to think about that day again. So we quickly reverted and put hang gliders in there. So we're proud of our hang gliding community.
Well, I'm a hang glider pilot, so I appreciate that very much. I host the Nuga Radio Outdoors in the sports hour on Friday evenings, and I've got a hang glider pilot coming on this evening to talk about hang gliding. So we really appreciate that. And of course, you're going to have, if you're going to have children, you got to have a fire truck.
For us, we've got a great vice president of new construction, Bruce Kaminsky. He's built a dozen children's hospitals around the world. What he's done is connected with all of the community assets we have. So we've got partnerships with the Discovery Museum, the Children's Discovery Museum. We've got partnerships with the fire department. We're going to have a fire truck inside. We're going to have a real steam engine from 1891.
Of course, you got to have a steam engine.
It's going to be right out front, so all the kids are getting off at the steam engine. We've got a great partnership with Rock City. They're helping to build us a secret garden. And we're doing this not just because it's fun. We're doing this because it distracts children so we can take care of them with lower anxiety. So there's actually a reason behind this. It's not just for the fun and to make it a beautiful place, but there's a real medical value in it as well.
Oh, wow. Well, of course, the time has gone by way too fast. You've been listening to a conversation with Don Mueller, the Children's Hospital at Erlanger CEO. Just know you do have our support. We so appreciate you coming on. I'd like to get you on again with some progress reports, and there's endless things we can share about Erlanger Children's and the Erlanger health systems in general. So I just appreciate so much you joining me here on 92.7 FM and 95.3 FM.
The Tennessee Valley's News Talk leader.
Thanks, Don.
Nuga Radio, Digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM.
3, 2,